So what goals do you still got business wise? You did mention the body collision. Do you anything else on that list?
As of right now, I want to keep working up to where I can get the garage and do the auto collision and stuff like that, and still run the store out of it. That right there is something I want to build too, to be able to give a piece off to each one of my siblings. So one of them can be in charge for this, one can be in charge for something else. Everybody can still get paid, and it's not that I don't want to work for somebody else. It's just, why work for somebody else when you can do it yourself?
Yeah.
So my goal is to be able to reach that point where I can, just everything that I have can be a part of somebody else's. Like I said, I want to give it, like, branch it out to my family. So, and me, not being the youngest, but the oldest of where I did come from, when I was with my original mom, everything that I had, was basically, I want to use everything that I had in the past to basically build something better for my future. So I want to just keep pursuing things that I'm doing as of right now, to keep building up to that, the real breaking point. Because once I reach that real breaking point, I'm gonna have, everything that I already said now, then.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself in 10 years. I know in 10 years I should have the body shop. Well, I should say I will have it, because I want it, so I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I will have the body shop with the clothing store. I will personally have my own house. I want to be able to have my project cars where I can just walk outside and be able to look at all of them. So I want a garage so I can keep my personals, and just be able to not just, I want to provide for other people, like I said, give a piece to my family and still be able to provide for them. Because I feel like me being the oldest boy, that's something I should do. It's not something I have to do, but it's something I should do.
Yeah, build generational wealth.
Yeah. So for my generation to come, I won't say they won't have to work, because, a lot of people, I feel like it's better to work for things that you want, because you respect them more.
Yeah. You just have the foundation.
Yeah, I want to build the foundation, so when I'm gone, they're able to keep building up.
Yeah.
They still got that.
Yeah, they have it there, but it's up to them if they want to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
But if it's not something they want to do, then if someone else comes along and they buy it out, it's still something that I built.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I don't want to just give it. That's why I want to give them a piece, so they can build from it too. Because if I just give it to them, they'll be like, oh, I don't even like cars type stuff. I don't even like clothes, and then they're not gonna respect it, and they're just gonna be like, people will be sitting in there, stuff like that, and nothing's getting done.
Yeah. They gotta develop that appreciate. They gotta appreciate it.
Because as they're growing, their mindset is going to be changing and stuff like ours did. But then they're going to see, I hope they see, to the point like, this is easy, I already have, who knows, it could be a multi-thousand or billion-dollar company or something that I could build, and they'll be like, oh, we already have that much money. Why do we need to keep it, But if they learn to respect it and learn that that's income for them, every time, every year type thing, then they will learn to respect it, because that's something that's getting them what they want.
And how do you want to grow that mindset so they can start seeing like that business mindset?
Like, basically, I don't want, if it's my personal kids, I don't want to, push them to, like something that they don't want to like it, Like I said, if it's something that came to that point, then the business could be sold off, pieces could be branched out, stuff like that. So, and I want to be able to put my stores into multiple states. I don't just want it in Oklahoma. So basically, how I can try to contribute to build their mindset is just be a mentor, guide them into the right directions, Because growing up, I didn't have the guidance, I didn't have the way to, that was shown to me to tell me which way or something I should do. So you can just basically guide them through, and you already, every step, that you already done took. So it's basically a ladder. They just have to climb up.
Bro, you got a great way of thinking, bro. What really formed that way you think now?
Like I said at the beginning, the only thing that really formed it was throwing everything on my plate and taking it at once. So you gotta find your way through, cause you can't just get thrown in the road and find your way back home type thing. So you get thrown out there, you dive in the deep end. You gotta figure out which way you can get back to the shore.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you have to contribute and still guide through yourself. And there's a lot of times on that journey you will lose yourself, but you find something else that you love doing and let that take your focus for a little bit. But then you gotta remember you can't forget what you started. So if you already start something, you gotta finish it. So once I reached one thing that I liked and I was like, damn, I love this, I'm like, well, hold on, because I still got this I gotta finish, and then you get everything brought up to the one same point. And then from that point is when you find your foundation. So you just keep moving.
Interesting.
And you also mentioned being like a mentor for your family and friends. Did you have any mentors?
Honestly, I didn't have any mentors, but I had some people that I could go to in different type of industries that I built a bond with to be able to ask questions and learn things from. So I had people that I could gather information from, but I didn't have one set mentor. It's because I was in so many different fields at once. I had to find a group here, a group here, a group here, a group here, and just basically gather all the information I can.
Yeah,
that's why I'm still learning every day. Like I don't know hardly anything. I know what I know, but I know I can always learn more. So I still have those different groups and different sections of where I can go to learn.
So who do you go for each industry? Who's your mentors for each industry who answer your questions and guide you through different paths and different situations?
I really can't put just full names of who I do go to, because there's a lot of different ones, and there's some, if I put it out here, they're gonna be like, oh, you forgot about me type thing. So that's why I put in full names and stuff out there. But there's a lot of people that I had from different parts of the industry, like I was saying. So I have a couple from the music industry. I already put the brands of the ones I have for the clothing industry, and still meeting different places, like different people when I go different places. Like to the pop-up shops and stuff around the community, different lowrider shows and stuff like that. Because that's how I got into the pop-up shop type thing in that section. But I still have I can't really say mentors, but people I go to for the auto collision, because I'm still in school for it. So that's my main source of that part. But really from there, I couldn't, how could I put it? Like, there's not really a set mentor, but I have, the
different mentors for different things.
You have different connections that you can gather from.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, do you listen to any podcasts, or were there any books you've read? Or?
Personally, growing up, I didn't like reading, and that's what's crazy, because everybody tells me that, like, how are you a published author and you don't like reading? I was like, honestly, I didn't even personally read a lot of the things that I wrote, just because, at that point you're already sitting there writing it, and that's just something that's coming from you.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah, that's just something that's coming out. So when you look at it and you're looking at it and you're just like, I already wrote it, why would I reread it? Type of thing. So that's where the editor came through, and he did his thing. Okay. So yeah, I didn't really read too much, but I read a couple books, but nothing that really, stuck out to me type. So, and then from there, everything just, kept moving. I didn't really read. And then after that, it was just, how can I put it? Like, after the not reading and being the author and then finding all those different trades, I just had to find different, like I got from the mentors type thing, the people I talked to be able to tell me, like, oh, this is where you can go to find a source, or, just come to me type of source type thing. So that's how I gathered everything.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Man, I gotta introduce you to some good books. You don't have to read. Because reading, man, you're getting years of knowledge in like such a short time.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get like thousands of years of knowledge. Like, you know, music, you know.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of books out there. It's just hard to
I'll introduce them to you.
Okay.
I'll introduce you to some. You gotta read How to Think and Grow Rich
Yeah.
by Napoleon Hill.
You ready?
That's a great book, man.
Like personally, I haven't read a full book since I wrote my last book.
I didn't read my first book till like freshman year of college, bro. So
yeah, I started reading like that. My first, I didn't like reading. I would do, but I knew I had to read.
Yeah.
I did audiobooks.
That's a lot of things that I did because, like I said, the new generation, you know, you always have headphones in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you can't really sit there and do things with an open book, you know. You can't just sit there and walk around, you know, do things with an open book. But you can do things when they're in your ear.
Yeah, you can still drive.
Yeah, so you know, that's why the audiobooks and things like that come into play.
Yeah, I drove here with an audiobook.
See, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Man, but yeah, man, I gotta introduce you to some books, man, because you're gonna have to read. I mean, that'll shape you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like saying I don't personally like to read.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. But when it's something that interests me and I know I can learn from it, type of thing,
yeah,
I sit there and, you know, study
I'm the
and,
same
you know,
way.
do things like that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that. I mean, but like you said, audiobooks is something I could do.
Yeah, man. When we're at the gym.
Yeah, we're anywhere, like, you know, driving here, I could have listened to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you just have to find what interests you. And at that point, music was interesting me more.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really read too many books. But music is what was constantly, you know, listening to other people's stories and how can I put my story into that format. So that's a lot of the things I would do was listening to things.
I still want to touch on your mindset, man. Like, for your age, you're really advanced. You got a good understanding of the businesses you're in. Like, I still want to know how, bro. How? You're over here talking about.
I really don't understand how, you know, like I said, it's just the sparks that came throughout the journey, you know, because I had to learn different things because there was a, you know, a stuck point, at least in one point of each, you know, thing I was doing. So my mindset now is it just came from all the mistakes that I made that I turned into taking as a lesson. So there's, you know, there was a lot of things that I done that I shouldn't have, or I could have prevented if I, you know, would have actually knew what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of losses that I had to take as a lesson to be able to improve me. And then that's when I started growing my mindset, just building myself around, you know, more other people that had, you know, goals and stuff in life. Because, you know, you sit there and surround yourself around people that don't exactly know what they want to do with themselves, or you know, things like that. It's going to drain you.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, like Solo always says it all the time. If you hang around a group of 5 dumbasses, you're going to be the 6th.
Yeah.
You know? He says it all the time. And that right there really stuck with me a lot because if, like, you know, if I would go with those people, you know, you can get into trouble as one. But why want to get in trouble when you can go get into something bigger and who knows, build a company that's a multi-billionaire, you know, multi-billion-dollar company. That 6 people could have turned to this. That could be 6 billion, you know, and everybody gets a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of things that I seen people do and, you know, knew that people was doing that I wanted to, you know, basically stay away from. That's what built me, you know, like, cause I seen the outcomes of a lot of things, and you know what actually put them people in that outcome position. So that's what, you know, made me take just different routes.
I like that. I'm real similar to that.
And it's crazy because, like, you know, I used to be a trouble kid when I was little, you know, because I never went to school half the time and stuff like that. But that was because I didn't have no guidance. You know, all I seen was what I seen. You know, so that's what put me in that position. And then when I got to high school and got to the position to meet people that were actually, you know, trying to help me type thing, you know, and guide me to a different path. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna take it. And then that's, you know, what put me here. So it took a long lifespan of time to be able to, you know, get that mentality built.
So, what does your support system look like? Does everybody support your beliefs, or do you got some non-believers?
No, like now, so when I started my clothing business, I ended up having a quote. It basically, to sum it up, it just says a lot of people will not believe in you until you actually do it.
Yeah.
You know, so at the time I was, trying to find different ropes and stuff that I wanted to do that I could, actually make an outcome off of a, build and stuff like that. And there was a lot of people that didn't support. They were like, you're too young, what are you going to do with a business? Like, oh, what were you doing? Why would you write a book? You don't like books type things, And then I was just like, sometimes you just got to throw yourself in those positions and do it. Because, I never knew what that first book was going to do. I didn't even think that first book was going to even want to sell. And then when it actually started selling and people looked at me like, whoa, you actually did that type thing. And then that's what got me, stepping into different roads and just trying something new. But everything else, it was just, it's an outcome type thing. So basically how I can put it is, a lot of the things that I did do, there was a lot of people that didn't believe in it. And then until I actually done it. And then they seen how it was growing and they seen how many people actually started supporting it, they hop in too. And then that's just how basically a base is built.
Yeah.
So let's touch that real quick. How did you avoid being discouraged? Because I was just talking with an entrepreneur who just started his business earlier today. And then he was talking about door knocking. And I said, when was the last time you door knocked? He said 2 weeks ago. And then I was like, why was it 2 weeks ago? He said, because I'm not going to lie to you, I was getting discouraged. That's the thing that breaks businesses more, is that hard part when you start a business and people are getting discouraged.
It's like you take that first step, and the first step is always the biggest step you can take.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of people that will tell you like, like I was saying, like, why'd you do it? Why do you want to do it type thing? And they were always telling me like, oh, you're too young to do this, you're too young to do that. So I wanted to prove people wrong. And basically just prove them wrong to prove to other people that it's something you can do. So when you don't have that support system, there's different type of crowds in different places.
Yeah.
So like when you run promotion, you're finding those different crowds, and those different crowds that see what you're doing and they want to stick around, they follow in. But if you're surrounding yourself around people that don't want to follow in, you just, you gotta overlook them, because there could be two people behind them in line that is actually trying to, get forward to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you can't just go up to one person and then that person, throws you off. The next person behind them, you can go and he would want to purchase something. He would want to, work with you type thing.
Yeah. So that positive mental attitude.
Yeah. You just have to overlook the bad and the negativity and things,
100%.
and actually, look at what you want at the end. Because it could be basically, if there was a line right here could be something that you want, and all these people, you just gonna have to find a different way around them.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Why would you start something you want to succeed for somebody that don't want to see you succeed? That's how I see it. Like there should be no reason you stop doing something just because someone said you couldn't do it.
So what does your day look like? Like your average day?
My average day.
Wake up at 5.
My average day, as of right now, that I actually, have things settled and found myself and, actually got to start building on me, is now me and him, we go to the gym 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll go ahead and go to school, and then I would go to Metro Tech and do my auto body collision, stuff for the first 5 hours of the day, and then have to go to Grant and, do another 3 hours there to finish off my core classes before graduation. And then I was working at a body shop, and then, still be able, to do what I love with cars, and then still be able to put some focus in on my clothing and, try to get new designs, new everything. And then started incorporating shows. So like sometimes throughout a month or, a week or something, I could have a show, I could have an interview and stuff like that, and you just have to adapt around it.
So how did you meet Solo Deuce? Like, how did you guys start, making music together?
So Solo, I met him my sophomore year. He was a senior. He was a junior at the time. I met him my sophomore year, and then basically we just it took a cool minute for us to click until we started, you know, like hanging out, you know, because that's how you build those, you know, relationship type things. So we went out and, you know, we started talking business. And then he was like, bro, and I told him about how I wanted to, you know, basically put my new format of writing into music. And he was in the music industry at the time already, you know. So he was like, bro, go ahead and do it. So I was thinking, like, at the time I was doing an audiobook to my first book.
Yeah.
I ended up doing an audiobook to you know, try to get that different crowd for people to listen
target
to.
that different demographic.
Yeah. So I ended up going to the studio with Bandy, and I called Solo because I was like, well, bro, you know, I have this song, you know, you want to do something with it? And he was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. And he just got off of work that day, and he drove all the way up to the studio on the northeast side. So, and, you know, we worked on that song, and then after that song, you know, we started, you know, basically collabing more.
Yeah.
And be able to, you know, go out and, you know, stuff like that, and find different people to, you know, put ourselves around. And then I ended up performing my first show with him in August. My first show, and it was down in Tulsa.
It was in that ring?
No, that was like our 7th show or something like that. The first show we did in Tulsa. So, you know, that right there is what bonded us more together, because, you know, we at that point we were, you know, working, you know, trying to put different music and stuff, and have to make different music for different crowds, and, you know, and him performing in that crowd was, you know, more bigger, and that was my first performance. So that he basically helped me, like, guide me through some things throughout that whole, you know, performance, to make sure that, you know, things were good between, you know, not just our performance, but the music quality and everything. So yeah, after I started getting into the music more, and he wanted to get into the clothing, you know, and then we just basically traded off. So that he would give me some tips on the music, I'd give him some tips for the clothing, and then, you know, that's just how the bond was built.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even after our first performances, we recorded the visual, and you know, we have other songs that we done, other performances, you know, and we were just basically placing each other in different positions with different people.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was helping him get in contact with these people, he was helping me get into contact with other people.
Yeah.
So it was basically like a trade.
Him.
Yeah, so it was like, you know, a trade. You know, and then everything that we both knew, we basically told each other, so, you know, we both knew it. Basically built a mastermind.
Yeah.
So that's just how the bond really got built. And it's crazy too, because I feel like I've known him for like 20 years.
Yeah, man. Knowing each other your whole life.
Knowing I only knew him for like going on 3 years. You know, and being able to perform and do like a lot of things with, you know, the same person, it basically grows, you know, that. Like, that's why a lot of people were thinking we was a duo, but we never basically went in as a duo, is because we both want a lot of the same things, but we want to do it different ways, you know?
Yeah.
So, and it's basically, you know, if you go in as a duo, you gotta do everything together type thing.
Yeah, it's like a band, you know?
Yeah, you know, and we still take separate things, you know, and do different things differently. So, and it's like nothing against it, but, you know, just sometimes, you know, you want to work with different people, you want to, you know, perform by yourself. Sometimes, you know, you want to do something else. So that's just, you know, why some people shouldn't go in as a duo.
Yeah, but that's okay though. There's tons of different routes to the same location.
Yeah.
So what does, I want to, y'all kind of went back to like friends. I kind of want to touch back on mindset. So with your goals, the goals you have, do you just think about them, like do you visualize them, or do you got them like posted above your bed or something like that?
Well, before, I would basically just think of what I wanted to do and, you know, put it into motion at one point, you know. That's how I ended up throwing myself in so many different categories. Because I wanted this, and I went for all of it. But now I have where, like I said, things calm down, so now I have a calendar.
And I want it. Like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, so this much, this is my net worth. Like, yeah, how many houses I'm gonna buy in this much time? Like, I'm 1, 1, 2, 2, you know, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3 a year.
And that's how I do it now. Like I look back at my calendar and I'm just like, okay, well, I put my goal to be done by this time. You know, this is how I'm far to actually, you know, achieving it. And this is how long I have left. And then I just do that to myself to push myself. So like I can just, you know, be able to look at it and know that's what I want, and you know. But I just basically just started recently, like a couple months ago, is when I started a calendar.
That's awesome though, man.
To like start getting back on track, you know, and putting things into. So I wasn't just like, you know, driving around one day like, oh damn, I gotta go do this right now, you know, like, you know, something like that. So I can like map out my days and put like what I need to, and there's times that, you know, some things come up like unexpectedly, but it's, you know, it's still more organized.
Yeah,
It's a great way to steer your future. And a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people don't, and that's why when I started doing it, I'm just like, what am I doing? You know, I never done this before. But then it started, you know, basically relieving me to be able to look at what I had to do today. And knowing how much time I had here, how much time I need to have here, you know, stuff like that to stay on track.
So what do your goals look like?
My goals?
Yeah, like what's your plan? Like what's your 10-year plan, 5-year plan? What's your long-term goals?
As of right now, my 5-year plan is, you know, just giving myself time to still grow. Because I know, well, 10 years from now, I mean, I'm 18, I'll probably be, what, like 20?
28.
Like, yeah, about 28, 10 years. So in 10 years, I want to already have, I want to have at least I want to already have the body shop with the clothing store in one at least. And then branch out those, you know, in different states. And then I'm still looking at marketing value and stuff and like that in other states, so I know how much I should have and how much I know I need to put in, you know. And then I want to own my house for sure. I want to own my house. I bought my first car already. That was one of my goals that I wanted to do. Graduate high school, you know, because I'm still in high school. This is my last year. So I want to go ahead and, you know, I threw that in there because that's something I know I want to achieve.
Yeah.
Graduate school and be done with school. You know, go ahead and get my certification for my auto body, which I have that in May too. So, you know, that's already 3 goals checked off the list.
Yeah, you're knocking them out.
Yeah, and then I wanted to start the clothing brand. Boom, it started. That was another one checked off. I want to record a song and a video in every state, at all 50 states.
Wow.
I want
That's a
to.
good one.
I only have one so far. I mean, that's, you know, Oklahoma, but
Yeah.
I have stops that I want to go to in the next couple months to the next couple years to be able to fulfill that whole
That
50.
goal.
Yeah, that goal right there is different, bro. I've never heard that.
There's
Right.
also, you know, big artists that I want to be able to work with by the time I'm at that point. You know, there's clothing brands that I want to, you know, basically do collabs with. You know, throw some things. There's a couple big podcasts, you know, that I want to contribute myself and invest myself into, you know, to be able to get on those and get the bigger crowds, and you know, because I mean I love doing interviews, podcasts, everything. I love doing them just because I can be able to hop on and have a conversation, and then people look at it and, you know, they hear the conversation, and then, you know, they're just listening to it and gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I do love podcasts.
You're a natural at it too.
Yeah.
You got it good.
Not really. Like, it took me a long time. But I can tell you, at least my first 5 to probably 6, those ones right there, I was nervous. Like I was just sitting there like, you know, what's the question they're finna ask? What am I finna say? Like,
Yeah, you don't know.
you know, how to stay on topic, how to, you know, just convert to everything.
Yeah.
So that's why how I learned how to cope with the interviews and, you know, podcasting.
Experience.
And not just like basically focus into all the angles the cameras are at, you know, stuff like that. You could still look at people, you know, just have conversation.
Yeah.
And then you just have to block out the camera, you know, act like
Forget
it's not
to-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but it took a long time to be able to do that. Cause sometimes I would just like look dead into the camera, you know, like trying to talk to it, and I'm like, whoa. And then you just, you know, it just throws the topic off, and then, you know, cause you're already basically spaced out into something else, and then
Distract you for
Yeah.
the moment.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
and then that's how your visualizers can look at it too and be like, oh, he was nervous, oh, he was doing this, you know, and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
people pick those things out of certain, you know, pictures, and then so. But I learned to adapt to it, and then it's just how everything's been going since then.
So we already touched, man. You got going, bro. We already touched your life, business, and mindset. I wanted to ask you, how do you balance your life and then your relationships with friends or probably even romance and also business? How do you balance?
That's a
all
great
that?
question. That's a great question.
A lot of things to making a routine is, you know, balancing, because, you know, the routine, you have everything set and stuff like that. So, you know, that's how you start to balance things. Like, okay, if I'm doing so much this week, okay, I need this rest day. You use that rest day to go ahead and, you know, if you want to make plans with your friends or something like that, you know, you're able to do it because that's your rest day. You're taking off from something else. So you can, so basically how I do it is, we usually go to the gym, 5 times a week?
Yeah,
At least 5 to 6, because sometimes we go on Saturdays too. So that's already, you know, anywhere from 5 to 6. You know, you map those days out. What day am I not going? You know, what day am I not doing this? And then that's how you just, you know, start planning things out. And then you have so much time to be here, so much time to be here. And then, you know, but that's where a lot of things come in too, because, you know, a lot of people, they could be like, oh, you know, he's not, you know, spending the time with us type stuff like that, and they get all mad.
Yeah.
But then that's when you gotta find those groups that are trying to be in the same position, so, you know, things like that don't happen.
Yeah. They'll understand.
Yeah. If they understand where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do with things, and if they know once you're up there and you can help them out to be up there, then that's how, you know, that's how you pick people.
Yeah, most people always understand.
Yeah.
Because they're going through the same thing.
Yeah, because, you know, let's be honest here. Everybody wants to be rich.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be rich. I want
Yeah.
to be rich, you know, but then they don't understand the things you have to do and the steps you have to take to be able to be rich.
Yeah.
So you can't just be, oh, I'm 18 years old, I want to be rich when I'm 30, you know? You got to do everything until you're up to that 30-year-old point to be rich.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm taking all my young years now to be able to build up to that point where, you know, I don't want to work forever. You know, I don't want to have to work for other people and having to listening to other people that tell me like, oh, this is what you're doing, you know, you're not doing this right, stuff like that, when you can do everything on your own. So, you know, you just have to balance everything out to contribute to where you want to be. If those people are not going to help you be, you know, help you get to where you want to be, why keep them around?
Yeah, that reminds me of this quote. It said, the people that don't matter will mind, but the people that matter won't mind.
Exactly. Because the people that don't matter, you know, they're going to be like, oh, why can't you stay like another hour, you know, why can't you chill like another hour? And then, you know, you have to tell them like, okay, well, I have to be here in an hour, I have to do this, and if they don't understand, then, you know, next time you want to hang out, you just, you know, throw them off. You know?
Yeah.
Because you have, basically, you know, you could have other friends in another group that wants to do something, you know? So you just know you have to map things out.
Surround yourself by like-minded people.
Yeah, you just have to pick and choose, and sometimes you won't make the best decision, but you'll know you'll learn from that mistake and turn it into a lesson and learn from the next time.
Yeah.
100%.
Sometimes it could be hard too, but
Yeah, like sometimes
It's
because
done.
there's a lot of times where, you know, you can have a best friend that you've been knowing for like 10 plus years or something like that, and then they get to a point in life where they're at a stuck point, but you're still moving, and they get mad because, you know, you're still moving and they're stuck. But if you stay side by side, you talk things out and you negotiate, and you know, you tell them that, you know, other things that they can learn and how they can get around that stuck point, then that's a friend. You know, if you just sit there and you keep going and you see that person stuck and you just look at them, you know, I wouldn't consider that a friend.
yeah, of course.
Like, cause you know, you can build off of two things. There's not just one person, you know. But when it comes to finding your circles, you just have to, you know, pick and choose and find your which one you're, you know, fitted in and which one fits in with you.
Yeah. 100%.
So who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to?
Yeah.
Like as like an inspiration?
Yeah.
And like me personally, I listen to like a lot of, you know, old school music and stuff like that, but I listen to new artists and stuff. But like music wise, I have people that I do look up to, like, you know, Drake, J. Cole, you know, Dr. Dre, I like Snoop Dogg. You know, I look up to a lot of major artists too because of where they came from and how they became to where they're at. So, you know, when they get on podcasts and stuff like that, I listen to it because then they're speaking on basically their story and how they got there. And I'm here speaking on my story and how I got here. So, you know, that's why I want to work with a lot of big artists. But when it comes to like major inspiration, I personally, I really don't know if I have one. Just because I have, you know, a lot of different ones that I look up to and take different pieces from.
Yeah.
So that's
So-
like the main thing. I
Yeah.
probably don't have a main one, but I have a couple that, you know, I take things from and to, you know, build into my own consideration to build off me.
It's unique, bro. For sure.
Like, I mean, then, you know, I could pick my favorite, but I don't have a favorite, you know, because like I said, I pick and choose of different ones
Yeah.
to be able to gain a lot from different. Because there's not one person that does something the same. Like, if you're baking a cake and, you know, you're going off a direction and somebody next to you is baking one too, but they're not using the box directions. You know, they're gonna add their own stuff into it to make it taste better than this one.
Yeah.
So that's just, you know,
It's unique, making it unique.
Technology.
yeah,
Yeah.
you make it in your own. Cause then at that point too, you don't just be like, oh, you see what he just did? He hopped on this trend. He's trying to be like this person.
Well, how do you feel like how the gym has helped you?
The gym has helped me build a routine
Yeah.
because when I wake up in the morning, you know, I'd still be tired even though I'd wake up at 6:30 in the morning. But waking up that hour earlier makes a big difference because it makes you go to sleep an hour earlier.
Yeah.
You know, so how I do it is I use the gym as a way to cope myself because being able to wake up in the morning and, you know, have energy, it feels a lot better than waking up in the morning and being drained.
100%.
Yeah.
So, you know, I use that energy to put into the gym. And then after we leave the gym, I still have that energy because, you know, I put it into something that I was enjoying doing. And not because, I mean, yeah, I'll wake up, I'm gonna be drained just to go to school because I don't like school, you know. But I found the gym is something I like. So, you know, it's not just building me up to my, you know, where I want to be, but it's actually helping me.
Mentally.
Yeah, it's basically mentally preparing myself for something that I'm fixing to go do because I love it. Not something that I don't want to go do, but I have to do.
Yeah.
You know? So the gym has really did help me a lot. And not just with, you know, building my routine, but basing my, how can I put it? Basing on how putting myself kind of like first, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you don't just go in the gym and just sit there. You know, you gotta put in the work to be able to build to where you want to be.
Yeah, and then going through my leg days.
Yeah, leg days are crucial. But you know, you start to, you know, see what like, damn, you know, I need to do this type of thing because, you know, that's the only way you're gonna get to where you want to be.
You gotta get better.
Yeah, you know, you gotta push yourself. Just like when, you gotta push yourself to your extent, but you push more because you know the outcome is gonna be better than if you did, you know, a lower rep or you did something higher.
Yeah.
So what does your leisure time look like?
My leisure time?
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
do you?
like just my.
What do you do when you're not zoned in on business?
Sometimes, well, really, mainly all the time, I'm making music. When it's my leisure time, that's my time. You know, I like to, you know, go make music. I like to, you know, still be around like some friends and stuff like that. You know, go hoop, go play some soccer. You know, just, you know, and then a lot of times, like, I enjoy just meeting up with people to talk business. You know, meeting different people and, you know, growing my mindset. So a lot of my leisure time is just basically, you know, still building at some point.
We gotta have another mastermind, like a weekly mastermind. Cause I have a weekly mastermind with a group that we just started. Like we're just starting, we're like, hey man, cause it just started out me and my friend, and like we just started having 1v1s, and then I was like, man, I was telling about mastermind that I would go to, like, you know, like the kind of like the one that we went to, Millionaire Possibility.
Yeah.
You know, and we're getting knowledge from people, like they're just conversating, they're getting asked questions. And I was like, man, we should do that. And then we've just been doing it. It's just been like a little, and now we're like, all right, man, let's make this into a mastermind. Let's start inviting like-minded individuals. Yeah, man, y'all should come to the next one.
That's something I can, put into the schedule and build.
Yes, sir. Because that's how you build. That's one of the
Yeah.
laws, man. We're subconsciously getting smarter. Talking to like-minded individuals. Because I'm starting to get your mindset. You're starting to get mine. And it's like that with different perspectives on life and different perspectives on different things.
Yeah. Different thought patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I just love masterminds, but that just, I don't know why that came.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh yeah, because you talking about business. Yeah, man, because we can talk about business, how to target demographic, different things. Like I was just telling, I talked to you remember that guy at the gym that I talked to? He's always about the sauna. He like, I talked to you.
He talked to everybody in the gym. He got me just talking to people that, but I like it because, me talking to them too, gets them a little point of knowing me and actually why we go to the gym all the time, 5 in the morning, such stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, you talk to everybody in the gym. I talk to everybody.
He was literally talking to everybody. I would be up there working out, look to the side of that man's over there chatting.
He comes back, which rep are we on?
Nah, man, but this guy, the guy who's always by the sauna, you remember?
Yeah, I remember. I remember
remember?
talking about the one that.
Oh yeah, I gave him your number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, he owns a dispensary. And what was the conversation that we had? I can't remember the conversation.
I can't late in the conversation though. Like you said, you be working out, you look over, he's talking to somebody. I was already still in the workout. He was talking to him. He's like, I'm gonna go talk to him for a second and come back with like 20 minutes.
But I can't remember what he told me, man. But just conversation with different people. Like I remember I met a guy there. You remember Evan? Remember we were talking to him for like 30 minutes. You remember?
Yeah, I
The
remember.
Mexican guy. And man, he just put people just put you on their perspectives and their, because everybody has a different life. I was thinking about masterminds. Everybody has a different life, and they have skills. And when it's the right people, they build so much skills in different areas that if you talk to them, man, you can just get it, easier. Cause they already built it. Like they can literally tell you the knowledge, and they can just give it to you. You can just pick it up fast.
It's like an interactive book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can ask them, man. I ask them tons of questions every single time. I'm like, man, this.
And it's cool when you can ask somebody a question, and they actually have a full explanatory answer.
Yeah.
Like my mentor. Remember? We just ask him any questions. Man, I feel like he has the answer for everything.
That's how it is though.
That's cool to be able to find people like that. Cause sometimes you can ask somebody something and they'll be like, bro, I don't know.
Alright, the last thing I really got on this is, so we asked you about your goals. You want to have the house, you want the collision, body shop. What experiences do you want to have, like skydiving or anything in that range?
That's crazy. Experience-wise, I want to travel. I want to, like I said, how I wanted to record a song and a video in every state. In those states, I want to travel and experience different things. Like something you said, you could go skydiving somewhere. You can go to Colorado, go skiing down a mountain, just build those experiences and build memories with it. But, I don't know exactly what every state has to offer.
Yeah.
But, once you get to that point, there's probably something you're going to see and you want to do it. So that's probably how I'm going to be, like, don't go it's cool to have things planned out and know things that you want to do, but when you're going to somewhere new, you're just thinking like, there's no time limit, there's, no time that, you might have to be back at a certain time to like back your state, but in those moments, you don't have a time schedule. You can just go find a water park, you can go find this, find different things. So I feel like that's how I want to experience different things in different states.
Just on the go.
Yeah, just go there, and then that's when you start to plan, like, all right, well, this first day we finna go do this, stuff like that. But before you get there, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I like that. You got anything else you want
I don't
to?
have any more questions.
All right, bro. So on the end of every podcast, we want to ask. We ask, what is your favorite word?
What is my favorite
Yeah,
word?
what is your favorite word?
No, is that it? Nah. If you had one.
Hold on. I feel like growth is my favorite word.
I like that.
Growth, because you're consistently growing. There's a lot of things you can use growth for, not just growing yourself, but growing your your mindset, growing your anything really, just growing you in general, growing the people around you. So growth is a big word.
I like that, bro.
Yeah, me too, man.
Sure.
That was a great podcast, man.
Yeah. And before we end, because I don't know how much longer we got on here, is there anything else you want to say to anybody watching? Any advice?
Personally, I just usually like to tell people, be you. You mainly just being you is gonna put you in the positions that you can go off of. Because if you basically like I said, copy somebody else, you're gonna look the exact same. But if you be you and really don't think about what other people are saying, or letting those people put you down because you're doing something for you that they don't like, and they're just gonna get mad type stuff. But if you do it for you, nobody else should matter at the point in the point, besides the people that are helping you.
Yes, sir.
So that's the only thing I have left is be you. You can't just go somewhere and then just try to be the same as somebody else.
Well, Isaiah, it was a great podcast.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for coming on.
This is one of it's a good one. Cause I have a lot. Some of them different topics, different conversations. But this is something I feel like I can keep growing with.
Yes, sir.
Being the last one I done, I think the last one I done was like a month ago. It's about a month ago, so this one is refreshing.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, we're gonna have to have you on again pretty soon.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready. Like I said, I love doing interviews. It's just being able to hop on something and talk and have those conversations. It's cool.
Yeah, 100%, man. We love doing this, man, because we all brothers as a mastermind.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just learning from you.